Hello. This is by far the most nervous I've been for starting a stream, which I don't know why, because in theory it should be the easiest thing of all time to do. I am literally just here to watch videos and say things that no one cares about. Um, but I hate having display capture. Like it's not like I even have anything to hide. It's just like, you know, what if I get a blind message from from my highly esteemed tax accountant, and he's like, "Here's all your tax information from 2020." That would be that'd be fun. No, I don't have a tax person. Are you crazy? I was over the. I guess we're talking about taxes now. And I should start my arbitrary timer because there's no good place to start it. I guess I clicked it. I'm here. I'm here for Echoes of the Atlas talking about taxes. Over the going away party, my coworkers threw for me. They were talking about how they have a tax person, and it was blowing me away because I'm like, you work at a company, like don't they do like all of your taxes for you? I was confused. I didn't ask about it because I'm sure I would have been tax-splained, but yeah, that was a confusing moment for me. All right, so I I tried to avoid any sort of spoilerage. I saw one teensy bit on Twitter when I was checking Twitter because I was just fucking doom scrolling from everything that happened yesterday, obviously. Um and they put out a tweet for like every single individual announcement. So it was really hard to avoid everything. I got one flashed in front of me. It was the title of a Polygon article that was written about the new update. So I know that, and I had a hunch that the update would do something like this because oh god, do I really want to Path of Exile? Ignore the politics. I don't ignore the politics. Fuck it. I mean, it's not like I avoid politics on stream. America's falling apart. No, don't look at all this. Ignore all this. I wanted to look at fuck. Like I said, they made it hard to avoid. I'm trying. I'm trying. Here you go. In this video. Also, I should check and make sure my volume is okay. This sounds good. This is good volume? Yeah, it's fine. For this video at least. When they showed this teaser, here you go. This is the juicy bit. I don't know why everyone looked at this image and their immediate thought was Ascendancy. Like, I guess, sure, like, all of the other Ascendancies are on a wheel-based skill tree, so I guess. But no, like, if you look at the nodes, and I know this is, like, ass resolution, blame Twitter, not me. They have a higher res version on the YouTube, but it's unlisted, so I don't want to go looking for it. All of these are League mechanics. That's Bestiary, that's Legion. All of this is probably Harvest, I think. I couldn't quite make out what one of these are, but I was talking to it with my girlfriend, and she was pretty convinced that it was, Abyss. It kind of looks Abyss-esque. It's the color scheme, right? I don't know what the yellow is. Maybe Blight? Who knows? But they all look like League mechanic stuff, so I was pretty confident that, this league, and maybe I talked about it on stream. I can't remember how much I voiced my thoughts on the new league on stream prior to this announcement, but I was pretty convinced that this league would introduce some sort of player agency on the kind of content you play. Hopefully, because I'm still not 100% sure if that's what this is, but the Polygon article alluded to something similar. So, the title of it, at least. I didn't scan the article. I'm still fairly spoiler free, so let's just fucking watch the trailer. It's, dude, I feel like, ugh. I'm a cringe streamer, dude. I'm just watching videos on my stream. Uh, I don't know. I'm still not sure. I'm not sure if this is something I'll do again. It kind of depends on how much I have fun with it. Like, I indulge on this stuff off stream all the time, so maybe it's interesting to see my reaction. I don't fucking know. That's the hope.
What drives you, Exile? Is it justice? Revenge? Honor?
Nah, it's like
No.
items mainly.
It is power.
Close enough.
We felt your deeds. Felt their shockwaves ripple through the void.
I don't know enough about Path of Exile late game to see what if this is new. Like, I don't know if this is just like a normal map. I assume it's new, but...
Your limits will be tested.
This place is obviously new.
Break them.
Look at how much insightful commentary I have. I don't know if this is new or not. A brutal showdown. Okay, wait. This is a pausable location. Fuck off, YouTube. Atlas passive trees. Okay. It's very weird seeing Katava at this angle. Like, what a fucked up angle to look at Katava from. Never seen that dude's ass. Alright, so yeah. Now I get a higher resolution. I don't know, that still doesn't look super abyssy to me. This is obviously Harvest, that's obviously Bestiary, that's obviously Legion. And, oh yeah, that's Blight for sure, now that I see it in higher resolution. It's like Cassia and the Blight Orb and the Blight Root. Yeah. I don't know about this bottom thing. Atlas passive trees, though. Interesting. Temple, oh, Delirium. Look, I know things! This is just me trying to express that I know things! This is the I know things segment of the stream. I actually have no idea what this is. Could not tell you whatever league mechanic this is. Blood. This is the Blood League. This is Breach. Harbinger? These are, whatever these two leagues are, these are leagues from when I wasn't playing the game regularly, so I don't fucking know. 11 new maps. That's a weird thing to flex on. Reworked Ascendancies? Oh. Reworked, I mean, first off, I want to talk about... I really like the way these maps look. Like, these look like Path of Exile II quality of maps. There's a lot of detail going on in these. Like, that ice, I mean, you know, I'm not gonna, like... People don't watch other people look at Path of Exile reveal trailers to hear their opinions on the ice. But if you look at that ice right there, and you look at the ice and, like, the glacier map or something, that's good-looking ice, dude. That's good-looking ice. I don't know about that skill. I would have to see it in action more. But, yeah, this Elementalist has needed a rework for a long time. There's, like, no good reason to ever pick Elementalist as it currently is. Triggers level 1 Primal Aegis when allocated. Other Aegis skills are disabled. Dude, I don't even know what a fucking Aegis skill is. I'm sorry. Cannot take reflected elemental damage, though. That is, like, single-handedly a reason to take Elementalist, though. That's so strong. As hardcore, at the very least. If you're not playing hardcore and you don't really care, you just fucking ID maps and reroll it. But, yeah, it's cool. Oh. I'm surprised this Ascendancy is getting a rework. There still were some times where you would pick it. Skills chain +1, as opposed to... There used to be one that was, like, +1 projectiles. I think? I'm probably losing my mind here. I think there already was one for skills chain +1 times. Maybe they just moved it? I mean, this Ascendancy looks really fucking weird now. Harvest. Wow. Ooh. I'm surprised to see that they brought Harvest back, what seems to be in its entirety. Because I thought if they were going to bring anything from Harvest back, they would just bring the crafting recipes as, like, consumable items. very strange to me that they kept the actual farming part of it, because I did not think that this really fit in the game long term. We'll see, though. Maybe they implement it in a way that I thought would be a decent way of implementing it, because, like, my main problem with Harvest is that, there's one meta, there's no reason to build your farm differently. So if you have to rebuild your farm every single league, that would be really tedious. If they just make it so that you build the farm once and it's similar to your hideout and you don't really need to worry about it once it's built, then I wouldn't really have a problem with it, but I would be a little bit annoyed if they force harvest on you every single league as something you have to build up again. That just seems tedious. Heist is expected. Ritual League. Oh, maybe that's one of the leagues that they were showing in that Ascendancy, or what they call it, Atlas passive tree. Ritual. Alright. I mean, in the flashy gameplay footage, it's always impossible to tell what's going on.
How far will you bend before you break?
I like the look of this place, though. There is her, the her that has been mentioned, I assume. It's a cool image. Surprised there's no developer commentary in the video. I guess they just saved it all for the live stream then. Which I will be checking out as well. I've got that up here. I'm not sure how much I want to actually look into it. Like, I think they did a Bay Class tier. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch Bay Class on my stream. That's definitely overstepping some bounds, I think. But I'll check the actual developer commentary and stuff. Probably not gonna watch the interview either. But I'll watch the developer commentary. Path of Exile, Echoes of the Atlas. In Path of Exile, Echoes of the Atlas, you'll gain even more control over your endgame Path of Exile experience by specializing each region of your Atlas with its own passive tree. Interesting. So they have it sectioned into the regions. That's a cool way of doing it. I actually kind of like that, because they already have the map favoriting system. So I was wondering, like, I was afraid that by, like, because the tree that they showed does not necessarily mean you're going to be getting that content more frequently. I mean, it could. Like, maybe, I'm not sure what the Atlas passive nodes are. Maybe it's just like, if you pick the Blight one, oh, you find Blight on 50% more maps or something. I don't know. But, I assume that would be, like, upgrading the content in some way, but I think it's cool that, it's set to the different regions of the Atlas, which, I don't know, maybe means that if you, like, favorite maps of that region so that you're going into that region more, you're going to be getting more of that content you like, and then you could always swap to the different regions of the map, or the Atlas, if you wanted to do different content. I think that's pretty cool. Hopefully it works out like that. Region of its Atlas with its own passive tree, crafting watchstones to refine your rewards. Interesting. Selecting up to 10 map bosses to face simultaneously, so that's what that back-ass Katava was, I assume. And challenging the Atlas's new pinnacle boss, the Maven. This one's a weird one. Because I don't know. I guess it's not entirely the same, but I'm like, isn't that just like what the fuck is the name of the league? It was last year's December league. You get the organs. You got Tane. Fuck. What's his name? Not his name. His name's Tane. I know Tane. Can I get a print out of Tane smiling, whatever, fucking Oyster smiling, dumbass. Yeah, I forget the name of it, but I don't know, that just seems like that league. Or at least what that league was trying to do. It seems kinda eh. Alongside this endgame content, you'll perform dangerous and rewarding rituals in the action-packed Ritual League. Explore 19 improved Ascendancy class. 19? What? I assume most of those are minor changes to, like, individual nodes, but 19 improved Ascendancy classes. This is still, like, the largest Ascendancy revamp I think they've ever done. 19. Like, how many fucking Ascendancy classes are there? Am I going crazy, or isn't that, like, all of them? They each have 3. Oh god, that's a lot of math. That's like all of them. Discover powerful new items and much more. When the Elder was sealed, entities far beyond the borders of the Atlas worlds took note and turned their attention to our direction. The first such visitor is an entity called the Maven. She is hungry to witness your fight for survival against the Atlas's most dangerous foes. Accept her challenge to put your talents and mortality to the test. Should you prove worthy, she will offer you a taste of her vast power. So that reads to me as do a bunch of this, like, multiple 10 Atlas boss fights, and you get to maybe fight the Maven every now and then. I don't know. I wonder if it includes... There's no way it could include... I was gonna say I wonder if it includes Conquerors, but, like, Conqueror fights are designed around their arena. Like what would the Crusader even do if he didn't have his, like, chess grid? That's, like, the whole point of his fight. Prove your mettle by slaying 3 map bosses in the Maven's presence. Interesting. Oh, no. I was gonna say, that reads to me as just, like, fighting them while the Maven is there, like, similar to, like, Uber Elder. Like, a multiple fight including the super hard fight, but I don't think that's what it is. I think that's just, like, lore while she's watching. Even though, like, she's not actually there while she's watching. You'll earn an invitation to her realm, where she will request that you defeat these bosses simultaneously. Having demonstrated your strength, she challenges you to fight 4 bosses. Okay, yeah. Only then can you take on the new pinnacle boss, the Maven herself. Yeah. The Maven's challenge. Okay. Oh. Yeah, no, that is a map boss. I was like, isn't that the bitch from the lab? But no, it's also a map boss. I have no fucking clue what that dude is. Yeah, okay. Just map boss things. Here we go. This is the interesting part. Unlock Atlas passive trees. Take control of your Atlas by unlocking regional passive trees, which augment the content you encounter and rewards you receive. Okay. Yeah. I like this. Okay, they're gonna give us no information. Please. Yes! Information! Something I can actually get excited about. Where do I even start on this mess of a list? I guess I'll go with this one. Monumental. Areas have 10% additional chance for a Legion encounter. 10? Oh, and I kinda, 10? Like, it's only for that region. It's only within the region. I don't know. 10 is low, and that's like a big, bulky node, too. 10 is, like, pretty sad. Huh. Alright. Legion encounters in area... I mean, for those who don't know, 10% is the default. From what I remember, I'm pretty sure 10% is the default for these things. So, like, yeah, that's double. But, like... I don't know. Legion encounters in areas are 100% more likely to include a general. Legion encounters with a general in areas have both generals. Legion generals in areas drop 100% more timeless splinters. That's like a significantly better node than just 10% extra Legion encounters. Legion encounters in area have 50% increased duration, and Legion monsters in areas take 50% increased damage while in stasis. So that just lets you get more out of the Legion encounter if you don't have a turbo build to do it anyways. I feel like a lot of people are going to be skipping on that one. That's the kind of node that's just admitting you don't have a very good build. Especially when I don't know how many points you're going to be able to spend on these, but like, I imagine you're not going to branch out to all of the things that you want, so yeah, that seems like an easily skippable node. I know that this one is going to be covered by my camera, but, you know, whatever. Torn Veil, powerful beyond demons, require one fewer portal to summon in areas. Beyond portals and areas have 100% increased merging radius. Have not played Beyond, so I don't really understand how that league works. But, okay. Slaying enemies close together in areas have 3% chance to attract monsters from... Okay, yeah, I just don't understand Beyond, so whatever. Killing resident architects in areas adds their upgrade tier to the surviving architect's room. What? Killing resident architects in areas adds their upgrade tier to... What does that mean? What is... Am I the only one confused by this? What? What does it mean in areas? Where do you find the architects in any place other than incursions? To the surviving architect's room? What? I don't understand this at all. I'm confused by that one. Incursion monsters in areas are at least magic. I don't even know why you would care about that. Maybe I'm stupid, but I don't understand. Killing non-resident architects in areas has 50% chance to add an additional upgrade tier to the surviving architect's room. What? I'm so confused by these. Like, the terminology is just going right over my head. Non-resident architects in areas has 50% chance to add an additional upgrade tier. Like, I understand that part. I'm confused by everything else the sentence is trying to tell me. Whatever. Areas contain an extra strong... These are super boring. Strong boxes in areas have 10% chance to be openable a second time. Strong boxes in areas are corrupted. Strong boxes in areas are at least rare. I don't know. Like, if you're actually... Like, the only reason you would take strong boxes is because, like, you're valuing rewards over the content. But I just feel like the rewards you get from, like, literally any of these other things is going to be worth more than whatever you get out of a fucking strong box. Maybe I'm the crazy one. Alright, time to get lost in even more sauce. Seance. Up to 20 rare monsters and areas are possessed and their minions are touched. Monka? I don't know what that means. I mean, I know what the possessed one means. I don't know what the touched means. Whatever. It's just more ghost modifiers is what I think that means, but I might be wrong. Harvest monsters in areas grant 200% more experience. Harvest plants in areas have 50% chance to spawn an additional monster. Ew. I kind of really hate that node. Because that... that, like, really incentivizes playing Harvest the way that I think Harvest shouldn't be played. I don't really think it should be, I don't know, incentivized, I guess. That's like literally just making a farm full of like tier 1 plants just to get like map bonuses out of it. I don't know. Like that's, I don't know. All that reads to me is like using Harvest as like extra delirium fodder. Which, unfortunately, seems like it's still going to be in the game, given the wording of this node. Breaches in areas have 30% increased area of effect. 30% increased monster density. Breach monsters in areas grant 50% increased experience. No problem with that. Breaches in areas have 100% increased chance to contain a boss. Breach bosses in areas drop double breach splinters. Breach bosses defeated in areas have 5% chance to drop a full breach stone. Nice. Breach bosses defeated in areas have 5% chance. Just another. That's fucking insane. Breach stones dropped by breach bosses have a 9% chance to be charged, 3% chance to be enriched, and 1% chance to be pure. I love these nodes. These are like my favorite. I do kind of think it's weird that they're going against, like, they go against that all the time, though. Like, they have a thing where they're like, oh, we want you to get the league-specific content from the league itself. And, like, charged, enriched, and pure breach stones were... I mean, I guess it makes more sense that you would be getting it from breach. But, that's, I think prior to this change, that was, Betrayal exclusive. But whatever. I would rather get it out of Bleach than Betrayal. I think Betrayal's kind of annoying, because you don't really have that much, agency over what happens. Oh, this node was for fucking Delve. As not the symbol I would put with Delve. That's a weird one. Voltaxic sulfite veins in chests and areas have 10% chance to contain double sulfite. 20% increased sulfite. Okay. Sure. White tier maps grant 200 additional sulfite. 350, 500, whatever. That just lets you do Delve more. Understood. 35% increased damage for each sulfite, vein, or chest found in areas. This is a weird one. 15% increased movement speed for each sulfite found in areas. That's strange. That's just very, very weird. I don't know how I feel about that. Harvest in areas have doubled bonuses to quant and rarity. The Sacred Grove... Why do I keep baby talking on accident? Sacred Grove in areas contains an additional harvest. I kind of hate the doubling down on doing harvest in maps. Because if I'm doing harvest, I would rather just do it in my hideout, but whatever. I guess that's how they want you to do it. Discover new endgame rewards. Echoes of the Atlas introduces 3 types of craftable watchstones. Craftable! Alright. These valuable endgame items allow you to upgrade your Atlas and boost what types of rewards you find from maps. Players who are able to earn these powerful rewards will find that they are strictly better than regular watchstones. They can be traded. Don't expire with use! And their benefits can stack. What? That's like the one thing I thought was kind of cringe about the unique watchstones you got. I don't actually know if all of them were like consumable, but the ones that I saw like expired after a certain amount of uses. I never got one myself because I don't do endgame that often, but I probably will this time around. Another new endgame reward, the Maven's Orb, affects items that have 2 or more influence modifiers. When used on such an item, it randomly upgrades one of these influence mods and removes the others. If the modifier that's being upgraded is already at the highest tier, it'll upgrade it to a new elevated tier. Interesting. This is like... like, I don't have a lot of context for this in other game systems, but, like, this just reads me as, like, MMO-style upgrading. Like, it's very just 50-50 chance. I guess, like, a lot of Path of Exile is just gambling when you upgrade things. But this is, like, directly, you have 2 modifiers, like, one of them is going to stay, one of them's gonna get yeeted. Yeah, okay. I don't really have a problem with it, though. 23 to maximum energy shield, 142 to maximum life. Okay. Yeah. I think I have found the outlier. They're not going to let me alt look on this, right? No. Yeah, I think... I mean, it could be a hybrid mod. I don't know what it would be a hybrid mod with. I don't think there's a hybrid life mod with any of these other modifiers, so I think 142 life is out of one modifier, which is kind of insane. But wait, no, that's... Is that an influenced mod? It must be an influenced mod. It must be, whatever the yellow boy is. Alright. I think that's what they're trying to show me here. I might be completely missing something, but I see 142 max life, and it kind of jumps out to me. 49 life regen is also really good, but I don't think it's like, you know, it's not 142 max life good. I mean, 13% increase, this is just a good chest. The 23 max energy shield is kind of wasted, but yeah, whatever. Those are some nutty modifiers. Whichever one is the nuttiest. I would say life, but I might be missing it. Akuna's Platinum, new Vastir Watchstone of Treacherous Realms. Legion encounters in areas have 23% increased chance to include a Marraketh army. 3% increased effects of modifiers on non-unique maps. That's cool. I like it. Lex Proxima Watchstone of Geomancy. Items found in areas have 0.2% chance to have the maximum number of sockets. What the fuck? That's a weird one. Voltoxic sulfite veins and chests in areas contain 3% more sulfite? That's like pathetically low. I guess it does stack with the additional you get from, like, these nodes, but still. Items found in areas have 0.23% chance to have a white socket. Wowzers. Imprisoned monsters in areas have 10% chance to have additional essence. Imprisoned monsters. Oh, it must be talking about essence monsters. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, sure, whatever. It's kind of boring. I also don't really know how good white sockets being on, like, random dumb fuck items even matters, because, like, you know, most items in the game are trash, so... I don't know if a white socket is enough value all on itself to care about an item. Explore 11 new maps. 11 new maps and challenging boss encounters have been added to the Atlas. These include unforgiving new locations such as the Dry Sea, the Forking River. I'm gonna stop the Mario 64 talk. Yeah, these are good-looking maps. Like, the quality of the detail here is so much higher than the current Path of Exile maps. You can tell these are maps geared towards Path of Exile II. In fact, isn't this literally one of the areas showcased in the Path of Exile II demo? Like, I swear to God, this is literally a Path of Exile 2 Act 1 location. Because they showcased this area on the live stream coverage. So that's cool. It's cool that they're already implementing some of that stuff into the game. Play the Ritual League. Twisted spires of flesh, blood, and sinew now stand scattered across Ray-class landscapes, their origins and purpose unknown. They seemingly have a hunger for blood and death and are willing to richly reward those who can sate it. Ritual is a combat league. Wow. Really? Combat league. That's an interesting Path of Exile. I wouldn't expect you to focus on combat. That pits you against both the arcane powers of the ritual altar and escalating waves of monsters, enclosed within a ritual circle. Each successive ritual in an area is harder and offers better rewards. A league in which it spawns monsters in a circle. Huh. I'm being a little cynical about the Ritual League. It's just like, I don't know, the League just seems kind of, like, I don't know, this update is clearly more about the endgame stuff. That's the exciting part to me. Maybe the rituals are fun, I don't want to shit talk it till I've actually played it, but this seems like, definitely an aside. Oh, that's the other league that I still can't remember the name of it. What the fuck? Metamorph! There you go. All I had to do was see the green box. Metamorph. Alright. Earn ritual rewards. Now this might actually get me interested, depending on how good they are. Oh, weird. You just get a shop that you spend your tribute. It's like, that's very, what's Cairo? What the fuck is the Parandus? Except Parandus only offers one item at a time, I think. I might be misremembering. As you slay monsters during a ritual, you'll earn tribute points, which can be spent on a variety of seductive items. Among these rewards, you may be offered new ritual base types. Oh, I thought these would be uniques. They're just base types. Dude, I'm always excited for more base types being added to the game. That's like, in a game where, like, crafting is so powerful already, especially with Harvest being reintroduced into the game, just adding more base types makes crafting more interesting, and makes items more interesting, like finding an item is more exciting. Although you don't necessarily find these, because they're in one specific league, but, still. New ritual base types which pair very powerful implicit mods with challenging drawbacks. You can consume some tribute to reroll the rewards offered to defer the selected ones until later, or to defer. So I guess if you don't have enough tribute, you can be like, I want to hold on to it. That feels like, that's a mechanic taken straight from, like, what the fuck is it called? The auto chess games. Is it Teamfight Tactics? Is that the League one? Thirsty boy. 1 to 6 added attack lightning damage per 200 accuracy rating. Really weird to scale damage with accuracy rating. That's a weird one. 25% less accuracy rating, you bitch! That could be a fun item, though. And it's boots, too, huh? Yeah, that could be fun. I like it. It's gonna be kind of a pretty big deal trying to get 100% accuracy, but by that point you'll have some pretty sick added lightning damage. Yeah, it's like flat added lightning damage. That's it's pretty crazy. I like it. I like that item. Penitent Mask. 21% increased effect of Fortify. That mask does not look like a Fortify mask, but who am I to say? Increased effect of Fortify on you. You are crushed. Lowers physical damage reduction by 15%. Interesting. So, yeah, okay. So, I'm assuming that doesn't mean that, like, all added physical damage reduction is being reduced by 15%. I assume that means by default your physical damage reduction is lowered by 15%. Meaning, Fortify will... Because Fortify by default is 15% physical damage reduction. Fortify covers for that, and then some because of the 21% increased effect. Plus, you can get other increased Fortify effects from Passive Tree, probably some item mods that I don't know about. So yeah, this just makes, like, Fortify insane so long as you have 100% uptime. Although, I don't know. Fortify might still just be better without the penalty of 15% damage reduction. I don't know. Maybe I'm losing the point a bit. Nexus Gloves. 30%. It also, like, really... I don't know, I guess... When you have endurance charges, it kind of makes up for that as well. I don't know. 30% reduced maximum mana. No one's going to use these. 29% chance when you pay a skill's mana cost to gain that much mana? Who's going to use these? Like, the only builds nowadays that actually have an issue with mana are Archmage. And no Archmage build is going to take the hit of 32%, or sorry, why did I say 32? 30% reduced maximum mana. That is a bulky hit. I don't see the use case. Like, maybe, I don't know, maybe you could just argue this is just pretty good for Mind Over Matter, but I mean, maybe it's just for Mind Over Matter. I don't know, like, unless you're going for just a pure defensive build, this seems kind of weird. I don't know about that one. Enhance your rituals. In the endgame, you can obtain tradable ritual vessels, which allow you to itemize the monsters from a ritual. You can place up to 4 vessels in the map device. Weird. Alongside the map to add their monsters to the rituals present on that map, substantially increasing both the difficulty and rewards of those rituals. Vessels also substantially increase monster density, which can be very rewarding in maxed out maps. Yep. I gotcha. So this is just another JPEG of the shop. It's got exalts in it. I guess that's exciting. It's got a shaper? I think that's the shaper. Scuttlebug? What are they called? Scarab. Scarab, that's what they're called. Oh, and Headhunter. I see. Yeah, okay. So, I get it. Tributes or rituals are rewarding, I mean. Okay, sure. I'll take it. That's just Katava boy. Okay. And it's just a dude. It's just that's a harvest monster. Weird. Alright, whatever. Don't care. Ritual Vessel stores the monster, and that's one that has the Guardian of the Phoenix. Alright. And 21 other monsters. Who cares about the other guys, right? Okay. Experience new power. In addition to numerically rebalancing every Ascendancy class. It was every Ascendancy class. We've substantially reworked the Deadeye, Inquisitor, and Elementalist. The aim of these reworks has been to redistribute power within each Ascendancy passive tree so that there are plenty of new ways to build powerful Path of Exile characters. Alright. You can apply an additional curse. Enemies you curse have malediction. I don't think that used to be there. I think this node used to just be you can apply an additional curse. I never used Occultist all that much, so pardon me for not knowing exactly what's changed here. Yeah, your hexes can hexproof, or can affect hexproof, that was the same. Cursed enemies you or your minions kill have a 40% chance to explode? I think that... No, 40%? That seems a lot higher. I think the effect was the same. I don't remember it used to be 40%. That's kind of nutty. Nearby enemies have 20%. Yeah. I think that's the exact same. Maybe they added the reduced life regen. 60% chaos. Every second inflict withered. Nearby hindered enemies. This seems similar. Cannot be chilled, cannot be frozen? 15% more cold damage. Every 4 seconds, 33% chance to freeze nearby chilled unique enemies for 0.6 seconds. Every 4 seconds, freeze nearby chilled non-unique enemies for 0.6 seconds. Nearby chilled enemies deal 10% reduced damage with hits. I'm not blown away by that one. I mean, I guess it makes it easier to freeze bosses, but 0.6 seconds of freeze is not that good, especially when it only happens every 4 seconds. I'm not impressed. Regenerate 40 energy shield per second. That's not bad. Regenerate 2% of energy shield per second for each enemy you or your minions have killed recently, up to 10% per second. That's nutty. But I think this node is mostly unchanged. Cannot be stunned while you have energy shield. Yeah, I think that's mostly unchanged. Maybe I'm wrong. 6% increased area of effect for power charge, 6% increased damage per power charge, gain a power charge after spending a total of 200 mana, +1 to max power charges. I also think that's mostly the same. Hopefully, I don't make myself out to be a turbo dumbass. This is going to be an interesting one, because I don't think that many people really had an issue with Hierophant. In fact, Hierophant used to be incredibly good, and then they kind of nerfed it a lot, and I don't know, let's see what they did to it. 30% increased area of effect. Oh, goodbye, image. I was trying to get that, like, blue smudge off of that. I think that's just built into the image. 30% increased area of effect while you have Arcane Surge. Immune to all elemental ailments while you have Arcane Surge. 0.5% of spell damage leached as life while you have Arcane Surge. That feels different. I don't know how different, but that feels different. That could be a completely new node, so I'm making myself out to be a dumbass, but whatever node used to be there, I can't tell what is missing, basically. 50% increased effect of Arcane Surge on you. Arcane Surge when you or your totems hits an enemy with a spell. Just at all interesting. I mean, getting constant uptime on Arcane Surge was never really a problem, so I don't know. Maybe I'm missing something. I feel like both of these are entirely new nodes, but I have no idea what used to be there. Were these? No, I'm thinking of not Hierophant. I'm thinking of the other Templar Ascendancy. Has the one where, like, you gain attack speed for using a spell and you gain spell damage for using an attack or something. 5% more damage per summon totem, regenerate 0.5% of mana per second each summon totem, you and your totems regen 1% of life per second for each summon totem. I think that's mostly the same. 100% increased totem duration, +1 to maximum number of summon totems, 100% increased totem placement speed. I also think that's mostly the same. +4 to minimum endurance charges, +4 to minimum power charges. +1 to maximum power charges and maximum endurance charges. That's a really weird one. Though, from what I remember, wasn't the old Hierophant one... I mean, this is weird. So it's taking out frenzy charges. Because the old Hierophant basically made it so that you always had maximum charges. But this is raising it so that the minimum is always 4 for endurance and power. I don't know, this kind of seems like a downgrade in my eyes. Because you used to get max frenzy charges off of this also. I guess you're getting the additional benefit of having an additional power and endurance. But is 1 extra power and endurance charge worth the frenzy charges you're giving up? Probably, honestly. I think this is just washes out even, but is more specialized to what makes sense. So it's fine. It survives. I think that a lot of people are going to have different opinions on this one. I think that it's kind of a downgrade. But also, the charge generation that node used to give was kind of stupidly good, so I understand the nerf. And it's still a good node, it's just not as good. 30% increased maximum mana, 10% of damage is taken from mana before life, Transfiguration of Mind. I don't think that's what it used to be. I don't remember what it used to be, though. 20% of maximum mana gained as extra maximum energy shield. This is the node that's been touched a lot, and I never really took advantage of it, but I know some people did a lot and were upset when it was changed, because they nerfed it. But this looks still really good. Like, if this looks like they unnerfed it, or am I going crazy? Because, like, 20% is still fucking stupid. I can't imagine it was ever higher than 20%. And if so, then it really should have been nerfed, so. 1% increased area of effect per 50 unreserved mana, up to 100%. 50% less mana cost of skills. Did that used to do that? If so, that's a kind of big hit. Because, like, I don't know. That feels like this node would pair really nicely with Archmage, but I guess not. Oh well. Alright. All in all, this seems pretty good. I don't really care about the changes to Occultist because I didn't really notice, but I don't know. I don't necessarily hate anything I saw in Hierophant. This change makes a lot of sense, so I'm not really surprised. Oh, did I not read this one? Brands have 100% more activation frequency. If 75% of attached duration expired, Brand's Recall has 100% increased cooldown recovery rate. Sure. It's kind of boring, but whatever. If you're going to use Brands, you should probably use that Ascendancy. Slayer? Why are they showing me Slayer? All I wanted to see was Elementalist. Yeah, what the fuck? I didn't even realize. I was like... I was thinking Inquisitor is the other Templar. That's why I got mixed up so much, because they say Inquis here. But, they gave us the spreadsheet for Hierophant. Oh, they don't even... Yeah, what the fuck? Occultist wasn't on this list either, so these were just minor changes. And I was like, where are the big changes? Turns out there aren't. Kill enemies that have 20% or lower life when hit by your skills. Wait, 20%? That's higher than it used to be. Didn't it just used to have Culling Strike, which was only 10%? Gain 10% increased attack speed for 20 seconds when you kill a rare or unique enemy. Gain 10% increased movement speed. I think that's mostly the same, except that I think it's doubled from what it used to be. 10% more damage if you killed recently, cannot take Reflected Fizz, 20% more damage with hits and ailments. I think that's the exact same. Base critical chance for attacks with weapons is 8%, plus 10% to critical strike multi per nearby enemy up to 100%. Nearby enemies have minus 30% to crit multi. I don't remember what that node used to be, if it's changed at all. 20% of overkill damage is leeched as life. 20% increased attack speed while leeching. Cannot be stunned while leeching. You are unaffected by bleeding while leeching. I think that's mostly the same as well, but it might have some extra defensive bonuses now. Like, I don't remember if they can't be stunned or bleeding were a thing. 100% increased maximum recovery per life leech. Life leech effects are not removed at full life. 10% reduced damage taken while leeching. I also think that's mostly the same, but maybe has the additional 10% reduced damage taken. Don't remember if that was there. 50% increased global accuracy rating, plus 4 to melee strike range. Wait, that seems way higher than it used to be. Plus 4? Plus 4? I thought the only, like, the highest individual source of, increased melee strike range was, like, plus 2 in the past. Am I going crazy, or is this insanely higher than it used to be? I'm probably going crazy. 5% increased area of effect per enemy killed recently, up to 50%. Deal up to 15% more melee damage to enemies based on proximity? That's a weird one. I think that's new. That's a really weird one. Maximum endurance charges is equal to your maximum frenzy charges. Yeah, that's the exact same. Okay. Wield powerful new items. One of the hallmarks of Path of Exile expansion is its items. In addition to new craftable watchstones, the Maven's Orb, and plenty ritual base types, we've also introduced the Hydrosphere skill gem, Trinity support gem, 13 new unique items, and a slew of div cards which have been designed by our supporters. Sure. Amethyst Ring. Black Flame. 11% to fire damage over time multi, 50% reduced ignite duration, 10% chance to ignite. Enemies ignited by you take chaos damage instead of fire damage. Wither does not expire on enemies ignited by you. Plus 25% to fire and chaos res. Enemies ignited by you take friggin' chaos damage? Does that mean if you have, like, increase to chaos damage over time or something, it'll affect that? I don't know. Legacy of Fury. Minus 14% to all res. For elements, at least. 30% increase move speed. That's just required for boots to have at this point. Like, you can't put unique boots that people will care about unless it has move speed. Which is kind of funny. Drop Scorched Ground while moving, lasting 4 seconds. 37% increased effective Scorch. 31% chance when you kill a scorched enemy to burn each surrounding enemy for 4 seconds, dealing 8% of the killed enemy's life as fire damage per second. Cool. Yeah, these seem like decent boots. These seem not bad. Maybe. I don't know. I don't know how many good boots are out there, but these seem not horrible. Hand of the Fervent. Gain Sacrificial Zeal when you use a skill, dealing 150% of the skill's mana cost as fizz damage per second. Huh? Gain Sacrificial Zeal. Grants added spell physical damage equal to 25% of the skill's mana cost and causes you to take physical damage over time for 4 seconds. Dealing you 150% of the skill's mana cost as physical damage per second. But you get 25% of the skill's mana cost is added fizz damage? Interesting. Hits overwhelm 11% of fizz damage reduction while you have Sacrificial Zeal. Huh. I don't know how I feel about those. Choose your harvest. Harvest has returned. Instead of having to plant and manage your own sacred grove, you will discover portals to established gardens. Oh, that's actually really nice then. With multiple sets of harvests ready to go. From each pair of options, carefully weigh the encounter difficulty against the crafting outcomes before making a choice. Yeah, okay. I like the way they implemented that, actually. It's a little weird, but I like it. I'm a fan. Plan the perfect heist. Yep, heist is just still in the game. Starts dropping from Act 6. Rogues level up their skills faster, thank God. Markers drop with higher stack sizes, and quests and contracts are now dropped for you at the next Smuggler's Cache as soon as that quest is available. Cool. And the new supporter packs. So let's check them out. You could have a little baby dude. Or you could have a baby dude and armor. That's seriously all it is just the pet. The $30 supporter packs are getting, like, way less than they used to. But it probably takes equal amount of work, because that is a highly animated little dude. Sure. It's not really my style. Ooh. Ooh, I like those rocks, dude. Those rocks are my style. Armor set, honestly, couldn't care less, but dude, those fucking rocks, though? Let's go. I like drooling rocks portal. Pissing rocks portal? I don't know, pick your poison. But, like, dude, if I was to buy any supporter pack and waste my money on this game, I feel like the Breach core supporter is just way cooler. And, like, who the fuck is buying the Abyss core supporter? No offense to the artists who created it, but it's just kind of uggy, in my opinion. Especially that fucking baby. That man baby. Harvest is... it's just not my thing. And I really like this guy's hands, but I'm not spending $480 on this game. So yeah, this is like the compromise I might take with my bank account. Alright, time to watch another live stream. Let's go, dude. Why the fuck does anyone watch me? I'm fucking live streaming a live stream that happened like 5 hours ago. Alright. Yeah, this is the fun part. I watch a countdown for 53 minutes. I am actually going to get some water real quick because I'm talking a lot. Like, this is literally... Like, I talk a lot on most streams, but I'm doing nothing but talking on this stream, so... Be back in a second. Let me get some water. I'm back. I feel like I'm gonna, like, just pull my microphone out of its sockets because of how much I've moved it around on the stream. It does not really like how much I'm moving it around. It's not the most high-quality mic stand, but it does its job. Alright, let's fast forward a bit here. Where do they start talking? Probably at the end of the countdown. Oh. Are they just gonna show the trailer I already watched? That doesn't look like the trailer I already watched. No.
Beware what you ask, nomad. Curiosity is a charming trait until it is not. Curiosity. Information will be volunteered, not coerced. It will create more questions than it answers. When at last their shadow is cast upon the firmament, it will take more than you can possess to bind and silence the screams within your mind.
Okay. Lore.
Hi, I'm Chris Wilson.
Hi, I'm Chris Wilson.
Games. Thank you so much for joining us today as we unveil Path of Exile's 3.13 expansion. This release contains everything you've come to expect from a Path of Exile expansion.
This is an entirely different format than what I'm used to with this thing.
Metagame rebalances, and
I like
an
it, though.
in-game content update which will leave a lasting impact on Path of Exile. Our team have been very hard at work over the last few months, and we've got a lot up our sleeves to share with you today. But before we jump in, we wanted to mention...
I don't like Einhar's outfit just watching over us in the background there.
You'll find the instructions to link your Path of
Watch
Exile
out,
account
Chris
to
Wilson.
Twitch so that you're eligible to receive drops.
Yeah, I'm not getting any fucking Twitch drops.
2020 was certainly
That's
a
what I get.
difficult
I
year for
sacrifice my
everyone, but it was
Twitch
also
drops
one
for
that
this.
saw a lot of big things happen with Path of Exile. In late 2019, we held our first ExileCon convention, where we announced several projects,
Pog.
including Path of Exile
Dude, I
2
can't say
and Path of
Pog anymore.
Exile Mobile.
PogChamp was cancelled.
Throughout 2020,
Can
we
you
developed
believe
4
I
major
ended my last
expansions,
stream last night by just saying
Harvest,
variations of
as well as the one
PogChamp,
we're going
and
to
then I
unveil
wake
today.
up to find
We launched on the Epic
PogChamp
Games
is
Store
over.
and released our Vulkan renderer and a macOS client for Path of Exile. We're really proud of what we achieved last year under difficult conditions and can't wait to continue the journey with you through 2021, where we expect to reveal much more about Path of Exile 2 and Path of Exile Mobile, as well as 4 releases for Path of Exile, including the one you're about to see.
I can't get excited for
Thanks
Path of
again for
Exile
being here
Mobile
with us.
because
It
my
wouldn't be
phone
possible
goes from
without you.
100% to 0% in 20 minutes flat.
In today's livestream, we'll kick things off with a 3.13 announcement trailer, then take a deep dive into exploring the new expansion's content and features. Once the reveals are wrapped up, we'll launch into a live Q&A where community streamer Ziggy D will ask me questions from Twitch chat, so be sure to get your questions ready. Once the Q&A is over,
you guys
we'll be
taking
jumping
notes?
into an episode of the Bay Class podcast, where Taki Cat and his crew of Path of Exile veterans will discuss today's reveals. I'm sure you're keen for me to stop talking and start revealing
Incredibly
the new content, so let's
cursed to
jump
say
right into the
Tarky's full
3.13
name.
trailer. See you
Well,
on
his
the other
full
side.
alias. Tarky Space Cat. First and last name. So I assume this is the trailer that I've already seen. Probably.
What drives you, Exile?
Yeah, we can skip it. I've already we went through this one.
New one. Props to our video.
Up.
That's one of my favorite Path of Exile trailers. We've released, like 35 trailers so far over the last decade, and I still get shivers watching each new one. Props to our video guy Evan for great work as usual.
Thanks, Evan.
So there's a lot to cover based on what we've just seen. Let's get right into it.
Can you believe that Tarky Cat got first and last
In
name mentioned, but
2016,
Evan
we
just got
introduced
first?
the Atlas of Worlds, a formal progression system for Path of Exile's endgame maps that culminated in a pinnacle boss fight against the Shaper. Since then, the War for the Atlas and Conquest of the Atlas expansions have expanded the Atlas system, introduced new endgame bosses, broadened mechanics, added new rewards, and provided more opportunity for mastery of Path of Exile's endgame. The Echoes of the Atlas expansion introduces a new pinnacle boss, a new way to fight many map bosses at the same time, 11 new maps to explore, and new endgame
God,
rewards
that
to earn.
fucking map looks so
The Echoes of the
good.
Atlas expansion introduces a new pinnacle boss, a new way to fight many map bosses at the
I'm
same
sorry
time.
I
11 new
rewound by
maps
so much, but the arrow does not have that much accuracy.
to
Look at how fucking good this place looks. This looks straight out of the Path of Exile
explore.
2 demo as well. This looks like the first area they showed people walking around in. God, looks so much better than the game
And
currently
new
looks.
endgame
Holy
rewards
shit.
to earn. Just a few map tiers into Echoes of the Atlas, you will begin to encounter an NPC called the Envoy. It seems that when the Elder was sealed, its absence didn't go unnoticed. The Envoy speaks ominously of new visitors to the Atlas.
I like
The
the
first such visitor and the focus
like eldritch encounter type thing they got going on, where you're getting like supernatural gods of the Atlas realms like coming in. That's cool thematically.
of this endgame expansion is an entity called the Maven. You'll first encounter the Maven in the boss arena of a map, where she will make the boss encounter more difficult and watch as you do your best to defeat it. If you're successful, she'll give you her beacon, which lets you call her to any map in that region, so she can watch more fights.
Weird. I really like her just chilling out there. So
After
when I
showing
said
her your
she
boss
watches,
killing prowess,
she does
she'll give
actually
you an
watch.
invitation to her own realm, where she has
funny.
prepared a special challenge. The Maven really wants to push you to your limits and has fabricated copies of the bosses she watched you defeat. This time, however, you'll have to defeat them simultaneously. If you manage to best her challenge, she'll politely ask you to do the whole cycle again, except this time she wants to watch more and tougher fights, and her next challenge will contain 4 bosses, then 5, then 6, and finally
understand.
10.
It's cool how you get to pick the bosses by like selecting the
If you're
map.
persistent
That's
and
an
talented,
interesting way of
you
doing
may
it.
even get to fight the Maven herself, in a very difficult boss encounter designed to challenge the strongest and best Path of Exile players. Completing the Maven's challenges offers the opportunity to acquire some very powerful new rewards, including Atlas passive skill points, craftable watchstones,
Ooh,
and
you have to
even
go
the
through
Maven's
the
Orb.
Maven to get the skill points?
As you complete the Maven's challenges, you'll earn a new type of passive skill point that can be allocated on a special passive skill tree
don't
in
know how
that
I feel
region of
about
the
that.
Atlas of Worlds.
Depends
Each
on
of
how
the
often
Atlas's
you get to
regions
fight
has
her.
its own passive tree.
But it seems like, I don't know, if you have to go through the whole process of 3 to 4 to 5 to... I would assume you only have to do that the first time, and then you just have to go to 10 maps. If it's like... Okay, what would that be? It's not 10 factorial. Wait, is factorial multiplicative or additive? I think it's additive, right? It's close to 10 factorial, so it'd be 10, 19, 27... I lost count of what number I was on. Here, let's get a Look, I can do math, alright? Just not under pressure. Stop looking at me. Uh, 52. That's kind of a fucking lot. I guess it's not that ridiculous if you're doing it every map, but assuming you get to do it every map, it takes 52 maps to get the first Maven encounter. And then I would hope that it's only every 10 maps after that. Because if you really have to do 52 maps in between every single fucking Maven encounter just to get these skill points, that's a little extreme. I'm gonna assume it's just 52 the first time, and then you just have to do the 10 maps to, like, restock the bosses you're gonna fight.
And they generally have around 20 nodes to choose from. You can earn up to a total of 10 skill points per Atlas region.
So 10 per region. If we look back, I don't know, am I being a cringe streamer? Can I open, close tab? Really? Undo close tab, thank you. Let me look back. I want to look back at the ones they showed and be a gamer for a second. What would I pick here? They don't show the minor nodes, but who fucking cares about the minor nodes, right? If I'm picking for this one, fuck the strong boxes. I just don't understand the temple ones at all. Like, the only fuck that one though, right? Like, I would get monumental face to face, so that's 4. I genuinely have no idea what the Beyond League is, but I hear people say they like it, so fuck it. I'm gonna spend 2 on the Beyond League. I don't understand it. So that's 8. And I don't know. I guess that one. I guess resource reallocation, because it has a chance of getting an additional upgrade tier. That sounds good. I mean, supposedly this is stronger since you have to go through this to get to this, but I just don't understand what it means. If I looked at the wiki and someone explained this better to me, then I would probably change my choices from instead of these 2, I would go to these 2 and just that one. That's my scholar's pick for that one. For this one, well, now that we know what Harvest does, I kind of want to reread these with the added context of how Harvest works. So Harvest in areas have doubled bonuses. The Sacred Grove in areas contain additional harvest. Oh, so that just lets you pick. Like, it gives you an additional choice for, like, crafting recipes to pick. That seems incredibly good, just for the additional harvest you get to pick from. And also, I'm no longer upset about this one, because you're not actually planting the plants themselves, so it's not what I thought it was. It is kind of weird still, though. It still is, like, kind of delirium bait, but less so at the expense of the leak mechanic. The Sacred Grove in areas has 100% increased chance to contain the heart of the grove. Oh, I just realized what that means. Harvests in areas have 10% chance for the unchosen crop to not wilt. So you get to do both of them, I assume. That's cool. Yeah, these seem like really fucking good. I don't really understand why I would pick this one, so I just won't. But I'm definitely spending 2 on these, so that's 4 points gone. Fuck it, I would take all the Breach ones. I do like Delve, but I'm someone who's completely satisfied with the amount of delving I already do. So, yeah, I would take the Breach one.
Let's check out some of the Atlas passive choices in the Glennock Cairns region.
Yeah, let's do that.
This
Chris.
branch allows you to focus on Beyond, increasing the amount of
oh, this is the one we've already looked at.
experience granted by Beyond monsters, but also allowing you to spawn more Beyond monsters really easily. The Torn Veil notable will drastically increase the quantity of Beyond demons you can encounter. The Legion branch has a notable passive which increases the amount of time you have to break enemies out, and makes it easier to break them out.
No one's taking
It's an
that.
example of a skill that you could invest into while you're weak, and then remove it later once you're more powerful.
Fair,
Yes, as I
fair,
implied
Chris.
Here, there is an orb that
Fair.
lets you refund Atlas passives. The Incursion
You
branch
got
allows
me.
you to more easily get higher tier rooms in the Temple of Exile and helps you make a definitive decision on whether to swap specific rooms. On the Ambush branch, the tamper-proof notable passive upgrades all strongboxes to be rare and corrupted. This synergizes incredibly well with the Ambush Zana mod or prophecies like Monstrous Treasure.
I don't
While
know
it
how many
prevents you from
people actually
rerolling
care about
valuable types of
strongboxes that much.
The sheer number of corrupted 6-socket and 6-link items will certainly be tempting.
Maybe?
Now
I
let's
don't
have a
know.
look at the Atlas passive choices available in the Lex Proxima region. The Harvest branch can increase your chances of finding a sacred grove, increase its crafting rewards, and make it more likely that you'll encounter a Shabi. We'll explain later in the presentation about how Harvest is being integrated into the core game in this expansion.
I like the way it's
The
integrated.
Torment branch can increase item drops from possessed and touched monsters, as well as populating the area with some already possessed monsters. These synergize quite well with the Sextants that guarantee a certain amount of rewards from possessed monsters. The Delve
Fucking
branch
keep
can
moving my
increase
mic too
your
close
Sulfite
and then
gains,
scooting
grant more
it.
Master Favor, and grant more Nico Master missions. The Sulfite
Now it's fucking
Infusion
covering my
notable
face.
passive grants
Get outta
Sulfite for
here, Mike.
defeating map bosses, regardless
Dumb
of whether
bitch.
the area has Nico present. This means that you'll be constantly gaining Sulfite for every map you do in a region, which is a great strategy if you're not already using Sulfite Scarabs aggressively. There are
Oh,
also
yeah,
breach
that
passives,
that
which
kind
increase
of
your
person.
chances of encountering a breach
The kind of
and ramp up
person
the
that I've
difficulty
never
and
seen
rewards
in
for
my
your
life.
breaches.
Well, I don't fucking
Naturally,
indulge
new
in
endgame
trade.
content
So.
means new endgame
There probably
rewards.
are a lot of people who just buy
Watchstones are an
the
endgame
entire
item that can be
stock
placed
of
in the Atlas of Worlds to upgrade a region's map
Sulfite
tiers and add
Scarabs or
new
whatever
base
they're
maps
called.
to that region. There are two types of existing Watchstones. Quest item ones that can upgrade a region and can't be traded between players, and unique Ivory Watchstones
Yeah, all of the unique ones were consumable, I think.
that provide special bonuses and can be traded. These unique ones are consumed after a number of maps are run.
Yeah.
The Echoes of the Atlas expansion introduces 3 new types of craftable Watchstones: Titanium, Chromium, and Platinum. Like regular Watchstones, these never expire, but unlike regular Watchstones, they can be traded and crafted.
I really
They are
like
found
these
quite
items.
late in your progression through the Atlas. The eventual goal is that you replace all of your base quest item Watchstones with the new craftable ones over time as you
It's
upgrade
like the
your
base
Atlas.
quest ones are so
Each of
boring.
these 3 types of new Watchstone has its own special mod pool, but there's also a shared mod pool that they all draw from. Like flasks, they can only be normal or magic. You can't find or craft rare Watchstones. Because you can have up to 4 Watchstones socketed in a region, up to 8 mods can affect that region, and some quite large bonuses to specific content can be stacked. When
Yeah,
combined
these are
with the
sick.
Atlas
I
passive
really like
trees,
these.
really allow you to optimize what content you encounter and the rewards from that content.
Plus,
The
they like
Maven's Orb is
synergize
an
with the
endgame
already
crafting currency
existing
item that can only
region
drop from the
passives
Maven
they've added.
herself. It allows you to craft influence modifiers when 2 or more are present on an item by removing one modifier and upgrading another. When upgrading an influence modifier of the current highest tier, it upgrades to a new elevated tier that can have additional properties. This Foul Regalia has 2 Crusader influence modifiers on it, the percentage increased intelligence one and the physical damage taken as lightning damage one. When we apply a Maven's Orb to it, it randomly removes one of these mods and upgrades the other one to become an elevated influence mod. In this case, it upgraded the increased intelligence mod to also have +1 to the level of socketed intelligence gems. The other
Okay.
influence mod is removed. This opens up a mod slot, of course,
That's,
so it's now possible to add another mod.
It's more than I thought. That's actually kind of fucking insane. I did not think that the elevated mods would be anything other than just, an upgraded tier. Like, all modifiers have tiers. I thought it would just be a higher tier, not straight up turn it into a completely fucking nutty, just entirely different modifier, basically.
To it.
Like,
Let's
that's just a
fuel and
hybrid
exalt it for
mod that
good
hasn't
measure.
existed before.
Maven's Orb crafting is only going to be performed by the upper echelons of elite players, and pushes the boundaries of the best items that are possible in Path of Exile.
Yeah, that seems fucking insane.
One of the things that players look forward to in an endgame Path of Exile expansion is new maps to play. In Echoes of the Atlas, we have added 11 new types of maps to the Atlas of Worlds, covering a wide variety of environments. And of course, each comes with its own challenging boss fight. Let's have a look at 4 of these new tile sets.
not super impressed by this one. Oh. That looks pretty good. Dude, now everyone can see how impossible it is for me to get comfortable when I'm not doing anything. Ow! How much fucking damage did they just take? Jesus Christ, is this like a 10 HP character? They go from like max to 0 so quickly. That's Path of Exile for you.
One of the reasons why these new maps look so good is that the environment art tileset and level design teams working on them have been doing so much work on Path of Exile II recently. And it's not just the 4 maps that we showed you here, there are 7 other new maps with their own bosses to discover in-game in this expansion. Whenever we release a new quarterly Path of Exile update, we start a new challenge league. These are essentially a fresh server to play on for that expansion launch, where players explore the new league mechanics, rush to conquer the new economy, race to level 100,
Who plays on
best items
standard,
before
dude?
their friends. The challenge league being released alongside...
I'll tell you
episodes of
exactly
this
who
is
plays
the
on
Ritual
standard.
League.
My dad plays on standard.
In the Ritual League, you'll
So
discover
if you need
several mysterious altars in each area you explore.
If you need an
Slay the
archetype
monsters at the
for
ritual site and
standard
activate the
players,
altar to
it's
initiate
a
the ritual.
gamer's
When
dad.
it begins, you'll be enclosed within the ritual circle and will have to face off against both the onslaught of monsters you've just slain and also the specific powers of that altar. Each subsequent ritual in the area will summon all the monsters from the previous ones, so
Ooh.
the difficulty and reward ramp up as you challenge yourself with each
I
successive
like that
ritual.
concept. So you kind of have an understanding for what you're going
Monsters
to
you
get
kill after
with
you have
additional
activated a
monsters.
ritual
That's cool.
grant you points called tribute. At the end of each ritual, you'll have an opportunity to spend this tribute on various reward items. These items vary greatly in power and cost, so you may find you can afford several cheaper ones or one more valuable one. For clarity, tribute doesn't transfer between game areas.
Yeah, that's what I expected. And that's how
As you
it should
complete
be.
subsequent rituals in the same area, more potential rewards will be revealed, which can be very expensive. If you can't afford to purchase a reward outright, you can spend a portion of its cost to defer it until later. This
Yeah,
means
that's
that it will
cool.
show
I
up
like
in
that.
a later area at a reduced price.
Oh, and at a
Items
reduced
can be
price?
deferred
Interesting.
multiple times until you can eventually afford them, and for some of the most valuable rewards in this league, this may be the easiest way to obtain them. You can also spend some...
When I saw the
times until you can
Exalt-
eventually afford them, and for some of the
I thought they were going to, like, defer the Exalt instead of deferring the Headhunter or something. That would be a good meme to put in your trailer.
most valuable rewards in this league, this may be the easiest way to obtain them. You can also spend some tribute to re-roll the contents of the reward screen one time per instance if you'd like a new set of
Ah,
reward
one
items to
time per
choose from.
instance. Let me waste all of my money on
Among the
rerolls,
many other
dude.
rewards you can choose from in Ritual are especially
Wow, that actually that kind of upsets me. It's like my favorite thing in video games is gambling whether you're going to waste all of your money away just re-rolling or actually buying things. Oh well. I understand the balance behind it, but I am pissed. I'm pissed as fuck, dude.
new set of ritual base types. These are craftable items.
Since they
that-
have the defer option, I completely understand why it's only one reroll, but
different implicit modifiers
I don't know. I just see why would you ever not reroll, I guess. I guess if you need to use all of your money, I don't know.
than Path of Exile's regular base types. Specifically, they have a strong upside combined with an accompanying downside. If you can create a build that mitigates this drawback, then you can take advantage of the power of these items and craft them into something amazing.
So, exerted attacks deal 40% increased damage. Warcry skills have 2 extra seconds of cooldown. Ugh. Ouch. Like, unless you're super invested in Warcries, that really hurts. 2 extra seconds, dude. Yikes. But, if you still have the... No, that still blows.
For example, these Nexus gloves reduce your maximum mana but have a chance of immediately refunding the mana spent to use a skill. If you can work around this restriction to your mana pool, you can periodically use skills for essentially no mana cost. Here are 2 other examples of ritual base
29% is 100%. Chris Wilson using that XCOM logic.
types, the Penitent Mask and the Stormrider Boots. The Penitent Mask applies the Crush debuff to you, removing your physical damage protection. However, its upside is that it increases the effect of Fortify on you by quite a lot, reducing the damage you take from hits. There are many situations where this is a huge win, such as if you already have no armor or endurance charges. The Stormrider boots reduce your accuracy rating but provide a huge added lightning damage boost to your attacks based on your accuracy rating. If you have other sources of accuracy to rely on, then this is potentially a huge increase to the lightning damage.
They do kind of freak me out by the way they look, but I like them.
In the endgame, you can obtain ritual vessels, which allow you to itemize the monsters from a ritual. You can place up to 4 vessels on the map device.
Can you see what monsters are in Altar beforehand?
In the endgame, you can obtain ritual vessels, which allow you to
It's not going to show me.
Itemize the monsters from a ritual. You can place up to 4 vessels on the map device alongside a map to add the monsters stored in those vessels to the rituals present in the map. This increases both the difficulty and rewards of the rituals, as well as generating even more tribute to spend on those rewards.
Yep.
For example, because there's a chance of encountering a Headhunter or Mirror of Calandra as rewards, using ritual vessels increases the chances you'll be offered those items and allows you to afford them. In addition,
God damn! Just saying you can straight up find a mirror in these things that's wow.
You can use these vessels to substantially increase monster density in maxed out maps that have mechanics like Beyond or Delirium present. Using vessels, you have control over the risk and reward of your hardest ritual encounters. Vessels are tradable both before and after they contain monsters. In addition to the new endgame content in the Ritual Challenge League, a large focus of the Echoes of the Atlas expansion is on its Ascendancy Classes. Path of Exile has 19 Ascendancy Classes, which let you specialize your character further than the base character classes allow. To unlock your Ascendancy class, you must find the Altar of Ascendancy at the end of the
He had to
Lord's
say that
Labyrinth.
for my dad, who spent the first 2 years of playing Path of Exile without ascending.
Classes and have significantly reworked 3 of them.
This is now
The
just make fun
Elementalist,
of my dad
Inquisitor, and the
podcast.
Deadeye. The aim of these changes is to redistribute and simplify power so that Ascendancy passive skills perform stronger single functions more effectively. Let's check some
Using
of them
the revamped
out. The
Firestorm.
Elementalist has always been a good general Ascendancy class for many elemental builds, but lacked really in-depth build options. Now you can pick which elemental ailments to use for greater build customization, as well as providing more consistent power against tougher enemies. The Elementalists can also protect themselves from a large amount of elemental damage.
Yeah, but show me. Oh, thank you.
Bastion of Elements provides a
yeah,
significant
we saw
defensive
this
shield
one.
against elemental damage, which can be further improved by allocating more skills on your passive tree and Ascendancy tree. The Liege of the Primordial and Elemental skills focus on Golem builds. Taking Liege of the Primordial now means that your Golems are automatically resummoned 4 seconds after they die.
That's nice. That's just nice quality of life. I
To
like
make
that.
your Golems immune to elemental damage, you'll now need to spec into Elementor as well as Liege of the Primordial.
35% chance to avoid elemental ailments per summoned golem. It's just a straight up 100% with no additional investment. In fact, it's really weird to me that that number is 35% instead of just like 33 or 34. Because it adds up to over 100% with 3 golems. 25% increase chance of buffs. Yeah, okay.
Previously, the Shaper of Desolation skill forced you to improve both Shocking and Chilling, even if you didn't use both. We've now moved these benefits into their own branches, culminating in the Shaper of Flames, Winter, and Storm skills, allowing
Your hits always ignite. All damage with hits can chill. Your hits always shock. 25% more damage with ignites you inflict with hits, for which the highest damage type is fire. Huh. Interesting. Chills from your hits always reduce action speed by at least 15%. Like that. I think that's up from like 3% is like the base lowest it can be. I might be confusing that with freeze, which is like 0.3 seconds or something, but I don't think it used to be 15%. 50% more effect of cold ailments you inflict with hits, for which the highest type is cold, obviously. Your chills can reduce action speed up to a maximum of 40%. Alright. Cool. Your hits always shock, all damage can shock. Shocks from your hits always increase damage taken by at least 15%. Yeah, these are really interesting. I like these
you to
nodes.
pick which ailments you improve. You can use and enhance Ignite, Chill, and Shock on any build. Mastermind of Discord no longer focuses on heralds and allows you to strip all elemental resistances from your enemies effectively.
Exposure you inflict applies an extra minus 25% to the affected resistance. Regenerate 1% of mana per second if you inflicted an exposure recently. Okay.
Pendulum of Destruction has been reworked as Heart of Destruction, providing more elemental damage or area of effect when you need them most.
Gain Convergence when you hit a unique enemy, no more than once every 8 seconds. Convergence grants 30% more elemental damage in last 4 seconds. 60% increased area of effect while you don't have Convergence. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
The Inquisitor is
I like that more than the off-cycle clock
but the rest
it
of the
was
tree
before.
was fairly straightforward and lacked anything truly unique. After our changes in this expansion, many more of the Inquisitor skills provide significantly more offensive or defensive power, while Instruments of Zeal opens up an entirely new and very unique playstyle. Let's have a look at some of the new Inquisitor Ascendancy skills. Pious Path no longer affects attack and cast speed. It now allows you to double the potential recovery of life regeneration by having it apply equally to Energy Shield.
Consecrated Ground you create causes life regen to also recover Energy Shield. Just straight up both. Consecrated Ground you create grants immunity to elemental ailments. Yep. And effects of Consecrated Ground linger for 4 seconds. Those are the same.
Sanctuary no longer provides mana, but now has a larger damage bonus from Consecrated Ground, up from 10% to 15%.
Okay.
Righteous Providence has been simplified a lot. It still focuses on critical strike chance, but it now scales it up by a percentage equivalent to either your strength or intelligence
Weird.
value, whichever one is lowest.
Whichever is lower. Huh. That could be... Requires a lot of investment, but maybe too much investment.
It's 50 to both of these attributes, which is a huge benefit
Still
in multiple
crazy.
ways. You will definitely want lots of both attributes. Instruments of Virtue has been simplified and made more powerful. Its benefits no longer strictly apply if you've cast a spell or attacked recently, but it now grants 10% more attack damage for each non-instant spell you've cast recently, up to
Battle Mages gain added spell damage equal to the damage of your main hand weapon. Weird. Seems good. Yeah. Wow.
a maximum of 30%. It also grants Battle Mage, which causes you to gain added spell damage equal to the damage of your main hand weapon. This provides a lot of new hybrid spellcast and melee build possibilities. You can combine Instruments of Virtue with the new Instruments of Zeal Ascendancy passive. This introduces the concept of Fanaticism, which causes spells you cast yourself to have 75% more cast speed, reduced mana cost, and increased area of effect.
What the fuck?
Fanaticism is gained by using attacks regularly, giving huge bonuses for weaving attacking and spellcasting together. Mana
Whoa.
cost.
What? So, wait, how do you gain fanatic charges? Gain 1 fanatic charge every second if you've attacked. Ooh, okay. What the fuck? That's such an insane boost, though. Holy shit. Crazy.
And increased area of effect. Fanaticism is gained by using attacks regularly, giving huge bonuses
Still
for
takes
weaving
4
attacking
seconds
and
to
spellcasting
charge, though,
together.
so every 4 seconds you get 4 seconds of buff.
Historically,
It's not
the
bad.
Deadeye Ascendancy was the best place to find a variety of strong projectile-based effects. But over time, more of these effects have shown up on items, and the Deadeye has lost much of what made it unique. We've brought the uniqueness back to this Ascendancy with a variety of new mechanics that enable new ways to build and play ranges.
Yeah, that's fair.
Let's have a look at the new Deadeye Ascendancy skills. Far Shot now deals 60% more damage to enemies far away from you, which is up from 30% before, but now also deals 20% less damage to enemies that are close. It no longer has a projectile speed bonus, but now removes the spread from your barrages. This additional damage rewards Deadeyes who can keep their distance from their targets. Previously, Ricochet caused your projectiles to chain an additional time and granted 10% more damage for each remaining chain. The new Ricochet allows your projectiles to both chain an additional time and have a chance to chain off walls and terrain.
That's weird.
Endless Munitions has been simplified to offer 2 additional projectiles rather than 1 additional projectile and some other minor bonuses. This skill is accessible behind 3 of the Deadeye's paths, making it an option for many different Deadeye builds.
Yeah, I like that conceptually.
Occupying Force is a new skill that benefits Mirage Archers by granting you additional ones and allowing them to be separate from you.
Mirage Archer Summoner getting pogged up, dude.
Gathering Winds now always grants Tailwind to permanently boost your speed, and the increase to Tailwind effect per skill used is now given by the Gale Force buff. Wind Ward enhances the Gathering Winds passive by making Gale Force a lot more effective, with the drawback of...
What the fuck? Am I missing something? Gale Force? Each instance of Gale Force lasts 4 seconds. What the fuck is Gale Force? Am I losing my mind? Have they... what did I miss where they talked? What the fuck is Gale Force? What? It's just 15% increased effective Tailwind, I guess? That's it? Okay. Okay. But you always have Tailwind. Okay. Oh, wow. What the fuck?
Is now given by the
Wait,
Gale
this
Force
is insane.
buff.
Holy
Wind
shit.
Ward enhances the Gathering Winds passive by making Gale Force a lot more effective.
Everyone
With
is
the drawback
taking
of
these
losing
2
your Gale
notes as
Force if you're
Deadeye.
hit.
Why would you
If you can
not?
stay
What
out
the
of the
fuck?
fray, this potentially makes your character even more potent.
This is ridiculous. What?
The Rupture skill previously helped Critical Strike bleed builds. It's been renamed to Rupture Ring and has been simplified while being made more powerful.
Critical strikes which inflict bleeding also inflict rupture. Ruptured targets take 25% more damage from... Yeah, wow.
Critical strikes that inflict bleeding now also inflict Rupture, which causes bleeding enemies to lose more life, but their bleed expires more quickly. Focal Point is a new skill which improves the effect of mark skills that were made more powerful in our recent Heist expansion. It increases the effect of your marks by 75% and makes surrounding enemies deal less damage to you. As you have seen, the Elementalist, Inquisitor, and Deadeye have undergone some major changes in this expansion. We have also improved the other 16 Ascendancy classes and will show you some of the changes to the Slayer to demonstrate what you can expect. Some Slayer effects were much stronger than others, limiting build choice. We've now provided more power spread out over a wider selection of passives, while allowing easier access to the Slayer's special leech mechanic. Brutal Fervor and Endless Hunger have switched places on their Ascendancy branch so that Life Leech is more accessible and can be further improved by speccing into Endless Hunger.
Okay.
Masterful Form still causes you to have endurance charges equal to the number of frenzy charges you have, but now grants an additional frenzy charge instead of increasing endurance and frenzy charge duration.
Oh. Oh, that's better. Whoops, missed that
Overwhelm's
one.
base critical strike chance for attacks with weapons has been increased.
Okay.
Hopefully
that's
you now
all
have a
that
good
changed.
idea of the
Okay.
scope of changes.
Dude, when did they fucking... I swear to God that the one that gave Culling Strike, kill enemies that have 20% or lower life. I swear to God, like, that must have been a... Maybe not recent change, but I swear that was changed, because 20% is
That
crazy.
we've made to the 19 Ascendancy classes.
I thought it used to
While
be
the
10.
biggest changes to the 3 we're heavily revamping, the Elementalist, Inquisitor, and Deadeye, all of the others have received at least numeric attention also. We believe that the new design philosophy for Ascendancy passives makes them easier to understand and that they are a more concentrated source of power. We look forward to revealing the rest of the changes next week. Like with improving Ascendancy classes, adding new skill and support gems to Path of Exile helps create new ways to play. In Echoes of the Atlas, we've introduced 2 new gems that provide versatile ways for you to build powerful new
Sorry, Michael.
characters.
Shoot.
These are the Hydrosphere skill gem and the Trinity support gem. First,
a
let's
little
have a
bit
look
low.
at Hydrosphere. The skill summons a huge sphere of water that you can move around.
Well, like, you know, I'm not going to complain about only 2 new skill gems, because, like, first off, we're getting a lot already, and, like, a lot of, like, really important game changes that people have been asking for a really long time. So, I'm not going to be the dickhead who's like, only 2 new skill gems, though? I'm also, like, of the opinion that, you know, don't add new skill gems unless they actually fit a purpose in the game. Like, not every league needs to have, like, 10 new completely build-defining skill gems that change the meta of the game. Just, you know, if you think of a cool idea, throw it in there. It's, I'm okay with just 2. That's fine.
Crush enemies. While it is active, you can apply cold or lightning ailments to it. It will then pulse for a duration, afflicting nearby enemies with damage matching that ailment. This player is applying freeze to the Hydrosphere with freezing pulse, and that causes it to repeatedly damage surrounding enemies with cold damage.
Weird.
Here's the gem hover for Hydrosphere. The skill
So
gem
this is yet another skill similar to the ones they introduced last league that really, really wants you to synergize it with other skills, which it's kind of cool. I'm definitely not the first person to talk about it, but it's like a very Path of Exile 2 kind of skill. Because in Path of Exile 2, every single skill gem you have is going to be able to be a 6-link. So having more skills that synergize with other skills makes sense.
be acquired from level 34 and can be supported with spell, area of effect, duration, cold, orb, lightning, and physical support gems. It pulses every 0.4 seconds while an ailment is applied to it. It also converts its physical damage to cold or lightning damage based on what ailments are on it. The Trinity support gem is designed to support builds that deal multiple types of elemental damage. While Trinity supports your skill, any hits that deal damage with a specific element will build resonance with the other two elements. The more resonance you have of every element, the more damage the Trinity support gem provides.
Hits with supported skills for which the highest damage type is elemental cause you to gain 25 resonance of the other elements per second for 2 seconds, lose 5 resonance per second of each element you are not gaining. Supported skills deal 3% more elemental damage per 5 of the lowest resonance. Supported skills penetrate 10% elemental resistance, while each resonance is at least 25. What the fuck is this? Can I hear this again?
The Trinity support gem is designed to support builds that deal multiple types of elemental damage. While Trinity supports your skill, any hits that deal damage with a specific element will build resonance with the other two elements. The more resonance you have of every element, the more damage the Trinity support gem provides. When you have high resonance with all 3 elements, Trinity also grants elemental penetration. Here you can see the player using Ball Lightning with Unleash and Magma Orb to build resonance across all 3 elements. To power up the Trinity support gem quickly and uniformly, the player alternates between pairs of elemental damage types. Combined with the Elemental Weakness Curse, the maximum resonance Trinity absolutely decimates enemies.
Alright.
In addition to introducing the 2 entirely new gems we described, we have done an extensive balance pass on other skills. We have buffed over 40 existing gems, including skills such as Scorching Ray, Seismic Trap, Firestorm, Venom Gyre, Static Strike, Kinetic
Firestorm
Bolt,
really
Lance,
fucking
Lightning
needed
Strike, Shrapnel Ballista, and Artillery Ballista. Full details will be available in the patch notes next week so that you can plan your perfect build. As well as introducing and rebalancing skills, another important aspect of keeping the metagame fresh in a Path of Exile expansion is adding new unique items to discover and build characters around. Unlike most items you find in Path of Exile that are randomly generated, unique items are extremely rare ones that our design team
you don't need to explain the concept of a unique item
Echoes
to
of
me,
the Atlas
Chris.
introduces 10 new unique items, some of which are exclusive to its new endgame encounters. Let's have a look at a few. These are some unique worm-scale boots called Legacy of Fury. They place scorched ground as you travel, which applies the Scorch ailment to enemies standing in it. When scorched enemies die, they have a chance to set fire to surrounding enemies,
Yeah, I want to see
dealing a
this in
percentage
action.
of the slain enemy's life over time. These boots create an interesting and new way to support your build with fire damage. This is a new unique
That didn't
amethyst
look
ring
impressive.
called Black Flame, which is themed around fire and chaos damage.
Yo, does it actually
Its
make your
headline effect is
fires
that your
purple?
ignites now deal chaos damage, along with a cool new chaos ignited effect on monsters. Also, if you ignite a withered enemy while wearing Black Flame, the wither will no longer expire, and you can build up to its maximum of 15
Dude,
stacks.
it actually makes the
if
fires
enemy
purple.
survives long
I'm
enough,
sold.
that is. Along with its various other benefits, this unique ring should ignite a few new ways of playing fire and chaos damage characters. These new Zealot gloves are called Hand of the Fervent and create an interesting interaction between physical damage and the mana cost of skills. The unique ability of these gloves happens whenever you use a skill. They grant an effect called Sacrificial Zeal, which both adds a quarter of the skill's mana cost as spell physical damage, but also hurts you, to the tune of 150% of the skill's mana cost over 4 seconds. They also reduce your enemy's physical damage reduction.
Yeah, I don't know how
When
I
we
feel
have time
about
during
this
an
close.
expansion's development, we try to identify past leagues that can be integrated into the core game as optional side content, with a few improvements. This expansion contains 2 such leagues. Last year, we released the Harvest League, which allowed you to grow a garden of monsters, fight them, and then use their lifeblood to craft your items in powerful ways. Watching this league unfold made us realize two things. Firstly, the crafting options were so powerful and so easily accessible that players had unprecedented access to almost everything they wanted very quickly.
Yep.
Secondly, even
That's
the players
fair.
who did enjoy the mechanics of growing their own garden would probably find it boring if that was something they had to do every single league. When deciding how they wanted very quickly. Secondly, even the players who did enjoy the mechanics of growing their own garden would probably find it boring if that was something.
Okay, just making sure that wasn't me. I'm not gonna fucking have Discord bloops on my stream. Get together, Path of Exile. Who you getting added by?
They had to do every single league. When deciding how to integrate Harvest into the core game, we knew that we had to curtail crafting somehow, but we didn't want to just do this by nerfing it a lot. We needed a
We're
smart
watching the
solution
movie,
to allow
guys.
players to earn and perform powerful crafts. We
Good
also
morning.
knew that we didn't want
Ziggy.
players to have to
Bright
grow and
behind
manage
me.
their own
I
gardens
think
every
that's
league.
Ziggy.
So let's check out how Harvest works as part of the core game in Echoes of the Atlas. In
Chris,
Echoes of
this
the
is so
Atlas, as you play
unprofessional.
through maps, rather than finding a seed cache,
Okay.
you'll now encounter a portal to the Sacred Grove. But it's not your own Sacred Grove, it's an established one that is a full complement of plants ready to harvest, fight, and craft with. The grove contains several pairs of harvests to choose between, each displaying the details of the fight and the corresponding crafting options. You can only
a
pick
little
one of
dense.
each pair, so carefully choose which crafting options are best for you, defeat the monsters, and use their life force to perform the crafts. If you're strong enough to kill the monsters, each grove represents quite a lot of crafting opportunities, and you can save up to 10 crafts for later use at the Hoarder crafting station,
Oh,
which is now available in your
10?
hideout. We like this compromise because it keeps the exciting elements of harvest, fighting, and crafting, and drops the part that got old quickly, seed management and garden planning.
Yeah.
We're
Quickly is
also
an
integrating the
understatement.
Heist League
Maybe
into the core game as
instantly.
optional content, with a few improvements. In Heist, players travel to the Rogue Harbor to hire a crew of thieves to help them plan and execute risky heists, working towards a thief's ultimate goal, pulling off a grand heist. In the Echoes of the Atlas expansion, heist contracts drop from Act 6 onwards. Rogues level up their skills faster from completing heists, markers drop with higher stack sizes, and quest
I didn't
contracts
play
now
much
drop
of
for you
Heist
the
since
next
it got
levels
its
cache as
improvements.
soon as that
Honestly,
quest is
I wasn't
available.
the biggest fan of Heist.
One great aspect of Heist
Maybe
is
that
all its
shows
progress
by the
items are
fact that I
tradable.
dropped it
So
so
if you're focusing
quickly,
on
but
other content, you can trade away your contracts until you're ready to go on some
yeah, maybe
heists.
they've improved it. I wouldn't know.
So we've covered most of the big features of Echoes of the Atlas so far. Keep an eye out for the patch notes in a few days where we will detail other changes that didn't make it into this presentation. Soon we'll move on to the Q&A about today's announcements. But first, let's have a quick look at the new
so that's-
supporter
that's
packs that are
fucking it
available
then?
right
That's
now
it?
to celebrate the Echoes of the
That's
Atlas
it,
expansion.
dude.
and
Alright. Oh, dude. I didn't like Heist. Gaben. XCZ. Gaben nice. Alright. Yeah, this is what I expect out of, Path of Exile Twitch chat. Uh-huh. Okay. I don't know if I want to do anything else on the stream. Like, it feels kind of weird to pivot from, man just talking. I almost exited out and leaked my desktop. You guys would see how embarrassingly messy it is. Fuck. I guess I'll just do Minecraft speedruns? Let me, destroy this screen region forever.